Good afternoon, Mr. Ozsoy. How are you today?
Good afternoon. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time and having this meeting with me. It's an honor. And to let you know, we're going to be sharing this Zoom recording among my classmates and Professor Johnson. So
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
you're welcome. We're going to start with the first question. And I would like to ask you to be as honest and transparent as you can, because all the information is going to be more than welcome among us. Um, can you share with us your professional experience?
My professional experience started back in year 1999, I would say, in the hotel industry. I worked for Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company for many years. I've obviously learned the business and was transferred to different continents from Caribbean to Europe to other places and got a chance to open resorts and hospitality establishments and really learned the business, its challenges and how to manage people and also on the technical side, how to put these projects together. Um, Following that, I worked for a development company that is international and they pretty much do the same similar type of luxury hotels and resorts all over the world, mainly in Eastern Europe and emerging countries, Kazakhstan and Turkey and Russia and things like that. And so I got a chance to work with developers and learn how these projects being developed and really get an experience on different cultures, how they interact. So it was a big eye-opening situation for me to to learn how people work in different cultures in different countries. Um, Following that, I've got more into a club and a master plan and project management that involves in private country clubs and yacht clubs and master plan communities. Again, these are not hotels and resorts. Of course, these are different, have different challenges because people own interest in them. They own their property, so they have a different look in these projects and they're much more involved and they're emotionally involved. Um, so this business has its own challenges, but it's still a hospitality business, obviously. And along the lines of course, it comes with infrastructure management as well, from asset management of bridges, roads, infrastructure, landscaping, so on and so forth. And this is obviously again something new, was something new for me that I didn't experience on the resorts and hotel side because we managed the property, we did not really maintain other assets. Um, I guess so. My experience spanned from U.S. to Caribbean and to Eastern Europe and Russia, and currently I'm in Florida. I do manage one of the largest master plan communities in the country. With its private club and private marina. So again, it's a hospitality people business, but it has its different challenges, of course.
Wow, thank
That
you.
cover your question?
Yes, yes, what an
Okay.
experience, Mr. Ozsoy. Next question. Do you know how many female leaders are working in your institution?
Yes, of course. We have different entities here in Bonita Bay. We have a marina entity, club entity that is private, and a private residential entity. And within those three entities, there are many, I would say, more than 50 uh, female employees, and more than 12 being in a leadership role, whether if it's supervisory, management, or a department head role. And so, yeah, we do have
In percentages, could you describe both genders?
percentage wise. I would say if you just let's pick administration in these within these units. I would say about 45% female, 55% male. It's
Okay,
very close.
excellent. Could you share a leadership experience that you genuinely regretted?
A leadership experience I genuinely regret. Well, we all have things that we do regret sometimes, right? I think for me, the qualities of a leadership is to be able to make a decision. Of course, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but somebody's got to make a decision. So, I think for me, it's always challenging having to have obviously non-pleasant conversations, whether they are performance-related discussions or letting someone go. These are for me personally um, communications or situations that I genuinely don't enjoy, but has to be done. But in terms of regretting it, really, I do not have a situation that I would regret. It's a learning curve. It's a learning opportunity. I look at it that way. Everybody makes it in mistakes, and if there is a mistake, you learn from it and you move forward.
What are your strongest and weakest personal skills?
Okay, good question. I would say my weakest points are patience. I'm short on patience, and in terms of professional life, and also maybe some of my personal life, and detail orient. Before I roll out a project or I announce something complete, I want it to be 101%, and that is not always good because um, it's just not possible, not feasible. At some point, that makes sometimes my team or myself frustrated. Sometimes, and it's a learning curve. I'm learning on this still. I'm working on this, and it's still sometimes if a project is 85% good, it's okay to let it go and adjust the rest later on. So, and strongest skills, I would say, financial. Financial management and leadership, I would say. And I do have strong work ethic. I I want to make sure things are done correctly and to the point.
Thank you. Could you tell me what your first job was and do you like your boss? And if not, why?
My first job was at a hotel through AHA, I believe, in Middle Beach, South Carolina, and kind of an internship and a job. And I really didn't get to think that much because it was my first experience. But my first real job, I would say probably my job at the Ritz-Carlton when I first started as a management trainee, and I get to experience different types of leaders and work with many different departments throughout that first year. And yes, there were bosses that I did not like, absolutely clear. And there are, and on the other hand, there were bosses that I really truly liked and learned and wanted to be like them. So, and I think on the why, well, I think their attitude, their approach, how they're approaching their team members, how they're motivating, pushing them forward, um, how they're putting their team first, not themselves. I think this will be the reason for the ones that I like.
Thank you. What do you think of paternity leave and have you promoted among your colleagues?
I think it's something very important, especially in this society where, everybody's working 50, 60 hours a week. I think something that needs to be more promoted and supported by private or public companies um, for both parents. Actually, for me, I know this is a case in some of the European countries. Um, for parents, especially mother, of course, and then also, if possible, for fathers to experience the new family member and being there and support and create a little bond with the new member of their family. I think it is very important. Yeah.
What industry the female gender is at her best? What do you think?
I think it's a relative question. It's a difficult question. In hospitality industry and property management industry and club industry, there are a lot of female gender leaders. Again, depending on their personality type, I would think if female gender would do really, really wonderful in a, obviously human facing environment with their being more emotional, more being able to connect with or having more empathy. Um, that's how I feel. I don't know if it's correct or not, but from what I see with the female leaders we have in this organization and from my experience in my past organizations, uh, they had all kinds of roles from finance, from being a CFO to being human resources director to general manager to other roles, and I've always seen them being very graceful and being able to connect with people well, which is very important.
How do you feel more comfortable working with millennials or older people?
Uh-huh. Good question. Well, we all know millennials are it's a new breed, right? So, I don't have a preference, but I know the differences both generation has. Over my experience, I've seen, with the older generation, their work ethic and they're on time and for me, I feel they're a little bit more formal and the way they communicate, the way they express themselves. And that doesn't mean to take away anything from the millennials. They have other qualities that, of course, comes in the front now with the technology and being more creative and bringing solutions and using of AI and things like that. So I think I personally do not make such a difference. I rather have both within my organization and have a good blend and really use a spectrum of their qualities, right? Because we have projects where we need certain amount of detail and attention to detail and other expertise, and we have certain qualities for projects where we need people that can think fast, move fast, and create fast answers and so on and so forth. So
Thank you. What is your favorite book or movie and why?
I, I do like old Robert De Niro movies, Bronx Tale, Wise Guys. These are, I think, it's good movies and they're pretty. No specific reason. It's just the way their camaraderie, the old Italian mafia. It's just how they support each other and the stories really funny. So I enjoy that.
Thank you. Can you tell me two women's, it can be in the professional or non-professional environment that you admire them and why?
Yes, of course. I think on the professional side, one of my bosses from many years ago, Vicky Curl, she was a president of Holbrook Life, which we've done many projects, and she's has been over the years not just a boss, but a mentor, a person I can really talk to and depend on, and she's always been there for me no matter what, through professional challenges, personal issues. She's way above and beyond just a boss. Really, she knows how to connect with people and make them feel special, and she's very demanding. She was a very demanding boss, and but with that, she always supported her team members. Uh, 24 hours a day. So she was always there for you, but expectations were there. So I think it's a fair, in that terms, it's a fair game. In terms of personal, I think I would say my wife. She's a very self-starter, very self-motivating person who raised three kids and then getting her master's degree, working on other professional goals, working in a big institution after all those years, and taking a break from work, getting back and getting these things done is not an easy feat. So, and most people would be very challenging, and I know it was challenging for her as well, but she's been so in that sense she's much more stronger than I am. Um, I am more organized within a certain frame. I have to come to an office. I have to be in a situation. Then I fire up and the engine starts running. But she's not. She's much of a just like an entrepreneur, like a self-starter, which I always admit that I'm weak on those talents. So.
Thank you. What advice would you share to young female individuals who are starting their professional path?
I think education is number one. I would say getting in this day and age, education is not what you get from only your college or university. Uh, it's also there's other tools out there that is available to everyone that you can do your research, you can learn about a topic, and showing interest. I think is very important. Always being curious and open to learning. Have an open mind when especially I hire somebody, it's from my rich experience, I usually look at, 60% I will look at the attitude. For me, attitude, being open-minded, being open to learn, and whatever the topic is, to be open to learning is more important than what the person studied or how many years he studied. But not to say that studying is not important, but I think there's a lot of things you can do to develop yourself and just become a well-rounded female person and to get into the workforce.
Thank you. Can you describe yourself in 3 words?
Um, Professionally, I think I would say organization, attention to detail, and work ethic. Will be three things would be important for me in terms of professional life.
And the last one. What do you
Okay.
prefer, paper or technology to brainstorm?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm a paper note taker, although we started using these electronic notepads recently to save on paper. But again, I would say paper still because connecting with your hand, your motions with your brain, writing down the thoughts, ideas, and sharing with the team, and then collaborating. I think it sticks more, stays here in your brain more than just typing it up on a screen and then saving it somewhere. And all those curves and notes and colors and highlights, I still tend to enjoy that, and I know probably 80% of the team here does the same so far.
Excellent. Mr. Ozsoy, it's been a pleasure learning from you. I'm very thankful for this opportunity to that you let us get to know you. I'm very grateful and thank you so much for your time.
Of course, I hope I was able to of help, and any further questions, please reach out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.